Okay, there we go. There we go. I'd like to call to order the October 22nd, 2025 OCVB meeting. Roll call, please, Susan.
Heather Patterson,
Present.
Don Dietrich,
Present.
Ankur Patel,
Excused.
Jason Crady,
Excused.
Amy Corrigan,
Excused.
Kelly Perano,
Present.
Patrick McKeon,
Present.
and Councilmember Kewen.
Present.
Councilman Kuhn, can I please ask you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I have in front of us today's meeting agenda before all of us, and is there any questions, changes, or additions that need to be made to this? If not, I will need a motion and a second to approve it.
Motion to approve, Dietrich.
Second, McKeon.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion stands. I now have the materials for our meetings from our last meeting, which was in September. Oh, I don't have the exact date. The September meeting. Is there any questions, changes, or additions, September 24th, or changes or additions that need to be made to that? And if not, I will need a motion and second to approve that as well.
Motion to approve, McKeon.
Second by Perano.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion stands. All right, we're going to go into our discussion.
Heather,
Oh, sorry. Approval of the minutes for the, well, I did that. Oh,
There was
because of
a
August 27th
there was-
meeting, we did not.
Correct. We needed to approve the minutes of the August 27th meeting because there was a correction that needed to be made to those.
Oh, I stand corrected. I apologize. So I now need a motion and a second to approve the minutes from August 27th meeting.
Motion by Perano.
Second, McKeon.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion stands. Now we will go into the discussion items. Our first one up is the updates from the O'Fallon tourism venues. That is Jennifer. Hi. Welcome.
Hello, I felt like that just kept dropping. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been a little bit since I have been here, missed you during a conference and then some other time outside of the office, so it's been a little bit, and I've had other staff members step in for me. So just kind of wanted to recap a little bit of some fall events that we have and some of the events that are moving forward. And just a few weeks ago on October 10th, that Friday evening, we had Food Truck Fright and Film. We added in a large inflatable screen out at Dames Park, along with a variety of food trucks, and they showed the movie Coco. It was very, very well received. It was a whole different experience for being out there. Mariah did a great job with it, getting costume characters back out. People enjoyed those photo ops. And then, of course, we have a DJ who always gets everybody moving, mom, dad, kids, even the dogs. The dogs even came dressed up, so that was really fun to see. I took a couple of snapshots of them as well. So overall, we probably had about 1,300 people show up throughout the night, and there was quite a bit of staying power, which is something that we always like to go for. There was a good portion of the people that once the film started that were out on the field, but then in addition, there were still people who were just still wanting to hang around the food trucks, and they were getting their pictures and line dancing and you name it, and they were having a great time. So next thing for us coming up is going to be the annual tree lighting and holiday market. So that will be on Wednesday, November 19th here at City Hall, and it starts at 6 and goes until 8 o'clock. And then, of course, we have celebration of lights out of one of our many holiday happenings. We do have our specialty rides on sale now. Some of those have already sold out, such as our train. We've got a really nice jump going on with our trolley and a great jump going on with our sleigh hay rides that we book as well. So if you just go onto the Celebration of Lights website, you'll find those specialty rides to be able to book for. And then coming up on the 3rd of November, that is when our drive-through tickets and then our stroll tickets will go on sale for the season, and that is going to be on November 3rd. So stroll is going to be 3 nights again. So it's the first Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, back to back of December. So, I'm sorry, did I say that? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Thank you, Kelly, for having my back. Jenna is freaking out in the back here. She was like, no, not Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So, with that, I would be happy to answer any questions. Patrick.
Could you expect any less?
No.
Regarding the Fright and Film, sounds like it was a great event.
It
How many
was.
food trucks did you have?
We had, I'm trying to count them in my head, 8 or 9, and then that would include some beverage and like coffee and beer as well. Would that sound right, Jenna? 8 or 9? Yeah.
Do you know approximately how many of those were affiliated with a OFallon restaurant, or were those from outside the community?
That, I think they were outside of the community. So Mariah does the booking for that, but they all had to get the permit to be able to sell within OFallon.
Just gives us a good reason to now encourage our OFallon food trucks to participate in the future. Yeah, that sounds like it was a great event. One last question. Do you take pictures at these kind of events? Did you have someone, either staff or hire someone to do photos of the event?
Right. So we don't hire anybody to do the photos for this event. The only one that we would hire out would be Heritage and Freedom Fest. But staff does take some various photos here and there throughout, and communications is there as well. So they get, the nice quality pieces of things, and they usually get some like quick interviews of the people who are attending to kind of get some feedback from them and how they found out about it and how they enjoy coming and what does it mean to them for being in the community.
It would be nice maybe at our January meeting or something like that. It's just kind of if you wouldn't mind, just kind of a pictorial of some of your events this past year. I'd love to see that crowd, so that'd be great.
Does anybody else have any questions for Jennifer? No? And I actually messed up a little bit on the agenda, so I'm going to have to go backwards. Sorry, Susan.
Thank you.
Apologize. So I'm going to have you come back up in a minute with the theater.
Yes.
Or Jenna.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And okay. One of you will be, because I have to go backwards a little bit. So on the first one, the updates from the O'Fallon tourism venues, that would actually be Nina, if you'd like to come up, the museum, and give your update for us. Hello there.
I knew it was going to happen. Hi.
Hi.
It's my shocking personality.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a little presentation here that I'm going to show you guys. So, not really sure how to get it to go on the screen. There it goes. The amazing crew behind the scenes. Love you. Thank you. Okay, so a quick update on the museum. First and foremost is our gala is coming up on November 14th. We still have some tickets, some tables, and some sponsorships available. I am actually going out on medical leave again on the 30th, so the deadline for any sponsorships is the 29th, so that I can have everything queued and ready to go to the printer before I leave out on medical leave. And then if you don't have your tickets, there you go. Get your tickets. All right. I wanted to give you guys, we're also going to be in the Celebration of Lights this year, so we're excited to be back and be part of that event again this year as well. And then I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on the Light in the Shadows event for next year. We will continue to do our music bingo event, which is one of our major fundraisers. And then we consider the gala like the flagship fundraiser for the museum. So we're not going to release a date for the gala for next year just yet, but we're going to talk about maybe making some changes to it or something. We've struggled, I'm not going to lie, to get tables and tickets and things like that sold this year. And I don't know if that's like, from what I can gather, that is just across the board as far as fundraising has been in 2025, has been just a struggle for most nonprofits. So I'm going to chalk it up that it's not that we don't know what we're doing. It's just a struggle out there right now. So, but I wanted to show you guys kind of what we are deciding to do with the funding that we have graciously received from the City of O'Fallon to do the Light in the Shadow events for 2026. So, the Light in the Shadow event. So then on August 26th of 2021, the gates of Kabul became the final post for 13 American heroes who stood their ground amid chaos and danger to protect the innocent. The bombing at Abbey Gate was not only a devastating loss to our nation, it was a moment that etched courage, sacrifice, and duty into the hearts of history. In August of 2026, on the 5th anniversary of that solemn day, the Mid-America Veterans Museum will host a powerful commemorative ceremony titled Light in the Shadows, honoring the Abbey Gate heroes. And if you've been to the museum, to the north side of the parking lot, you will recognize this beautiful marble monument that is on the north side of the parking lot. This is a tribute to those 13 who lost their life during that event. You may remember it was a suicide bomber went into the airport and ignited, and then we lost 13 of our brave heroes during that event. So one of them being Jared Schmidt, who is an O'Fallon resident. He was, his family is, and then he went to Fort Zumwalt South High School. So lovely monument, love the monument. It is very intriguing. Quick backstory on it. Somebody, and I think it was in Farmington, crafted this monument, and their own city didn't want it. Like, they took it to the city and said, hey, we have this wonderful monument. And they're like, yeah, okay, great. So they called around and they found us and they said, would you guys take it? And we were like, yes, we will take it. They're like, we'll bring it to you. I was like, great. So we got it, and it's at the north end of our parking lot. So very fitting for what we do over there at the museum. All right. So adding to the gravity and honor of this moment, we are privileged to host the Veteran and Athletes United Memorial Wall during this time. This breathtaking tribute, shaped in the silhouette of a fallen warrior, displays over 7,000 dog tags of post-9/11 service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. It is a powerful reminder that each name is a life and each life is a legacy. If you didn't come in 2024, we did host this wall on our property in 2024. It was the very first time I had ever laid my eyes on it, and I will tell you, from a veteran perspective, myself being a veteran, when I saw this thing, it was breathtaking and heartbreaking all at the same time whenever I saw it. So it is a visual to behold, so I encourage everybody to come out and see it when we have it in 2026. Okay. All right, so the funding request that we requested from you guys. This is to give you a comprehensive advertising campaign to promote regional awareness and attendance, and then our goal is to increase regional visitation, tourism engagement, and community participation with this event. Part of our strategy is to do a multi-channel marketing plan. That would include some digital and social media outreach, some local print and radio campaigns, some outdoor signage and community visibility, some video storytelling and photography, which I'm going to touch on that here in a second, and then public relations and tourism partnerships. This is a multi-day event, so we will encourage people, and we do something different each night. In the past, we have held a ceremony every night. We're not going to do that this time. This time, we're kind of kicking some ideas around, but what we have on paper right now to consider is maybe the first night that we're there, we might invite some dignitaries to come in and do like a kind of like just a meet and greet, if you will. We are working on actually contacting not only Jared Schmidt's family, which they are very active with the museum, but we're looking at contacting those 12 other families whose loved ones died during that event to see if they would be wanting to come into the area and be here during this particular, I don't want to call it a celebration, it's a ceremony. So that's what we're doing. As far as the video storytelling and photography is concerned, we have linked up, and I'm going to say linked up loosely because I've kind of pushed these people off until after the gala. If you know anything about fundraising or event planning, you can only focus on one thing at a time, right? So, but there is a volunteer at our museum who has a family member in Michigan who is also connected to somebody in California, and together they own an animation studio. And so I didn't bring it with me today, which I didn't even think about it, but I should have. They took one of the stories out of our museum. If you don't know the story of John Gizzi was in the balloon brigade in World War I. And so he went up in a hot air balloon, him and his team, and they would do reconnaissance from a hot air balloon, and they would send messages down to the ground as to what they could see was happening out in the battlefield. Really, really cool. How would you like to be in a hot air balloon and have bullets whizzing by you? Probably not a good thing, right? So didn't know that. I'm even an Army veteran, didn't know that until I got to the museum and I read that story. It's a fantastic story. So he took that story and he made a quick little 2.5 minute, 3 minute animated clip from it using AI. And it's to kind of bring the story to life so that the user can actually experience that without having to come into the museum and pick up a 3-ring binder and read a 40-page dissertation about this person kind of thing. So really, we are really focusing on upgrading the technology inside the museum. I'm 52 years old. I don't want to walk through my galleries and pick up these 3-ring binders and read them. It's just not my thing. Now, if I had a video to watch, or if I could take a set of headphones with me and go listen, I'm all in. So we're rethinking, we're going to keep doing the traditional way of how we've done things because we have an audience too that likes that kind of format. But it's adding those newer technologies in to bring in and attract kind of the younger demographic is what we're working on. So I wanted to kind of touch base on that video storytelling and photography around that. So that's what we're exploring right now. All right, this is the breakdown of the finances. This is not written in stone, y'all. This is just something that we kind of spitballed and threw out there. So if we're not going to use the $4,000 on the Facebook, Instagram, Google targeted ads, it'll find its home somewhere in this list. Just know that, okay? But this is our breakdown of what we wanted to, of how we want to spend the dollars. Okay, moving on. All right, great. All right, so the expected results. We expect a regional reach of about 200,000 plus digital imprint impressions. The visitor growth we're anticipating, our goal is to kind of make it a 30 to 40% attendance increase. Last year, in 2024, when we hosted this event, we counted, and it's really hard to count people when they're in and out of the museum and doing all the things, but we guesstimate that we had about 600 people outside of our normal walk-in during that week. We had the wall there come to the museum, so we're hoping to increase that by about 30 or 40% with this outreach that we're doing. That's very conservative. I'm hoping it's more, but we can only do what we can do. So for the economic impact, we want to we're going to boost local hotels, restaurants, and retail. That's obviously going to be for those people who are coming in and maybe staying overnight for the multi-day events that we're going to do. We'll have some partnership brochures, things like that we can pass out to them, some recommendations on those partnerships of how they can stay in O'Fallon and spend their dollars in O'Fallon. Community benefits is to strengthen the partnerships with local organizations and veteran groups. Sorry, there's a glare on the screen here. Any questions so far? Great. So the tourism community benefits. This will draw visitors from across the St. Louis and Midwest region, promotes O'Fallon as a destination for heritage and cultural tourism, encourages overnight stays and local spending, and then reinforces O'Fallon's commitment to honoring the veterans in our community service. Partnership recognition opportunities, so logo placement on all digital and print advertising for those partnerships, those people who want to partner with us for this event. Acknowledgement in press releases and the event signage that we plan to have made, inclusion on the museum's website as the event materials, a verbal recognition during the event ceremonies, and then we'll do some recognition and some post-event media as well for these partners. So closing and call to action. Your support will help the museum shine a light on the stories that we have in there. If you haven't been in there, we have about 300-ish stories on the floor. We have about 600 online, so there's lots of variety out there to go in and see and read. And then together we can make Light in the Shadows a 2026. Let me go back up. Together, we can make Light in the Shadows 2026 a landmark event for O'Fallon and the veteran community as a whole. So we appreciate you and thank you. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I love the video aspect of what you're doing with that.
Yeah.
Because I immediately am thinking that you already said younger, but like, yeah, even children, school aged, all of that, how much they can learn of history
Yes.
that way. And let's keep it real. That's what they enjoy.
Yes.
Technology. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
The ticky-tock. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Any other questions?
Not a question as much as a comment. And
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate the effort that you put into presenting the information to us and sharing and the details and all that. And so
Yeah. You're welcome.
we're here to help you be successful too. So
Thank you.
I
Well, you're a
appreciate that.
stakeholder, so I feel like it's important that you understand what we're doing. So, for sure. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is our National Wiffle League Association Tournament presentation. We don't get to say that every day. So, yeah. Hello, welcome.
Hi. First of all, thanks for having me. My name is Sam Skibby, and as Patrick said, such a great presentation, and I wish I knew we had all this stuff going on to possibly put one together. First, thank you to Jennifer for helping me get on the agenda today, and thanks for allowing me to speak with you. I'm here to kind of talk to you all about something that maybe you all grew up playing. It's a nostalgia feel to it. Wiffle ball has been a part of, I feel like, every childhood in America. It's an American-made product that is still around today. You can find it for $6 at any Schnucks or Target or anything around in local areas too. My experience with wiffle ball has been very different than many people could say. I am probably as close to a professional wiffle ball player as you've met in your lives. From traveling the country for the past, I've been playing this game for 24 years, traveling for about 15, 16 years, playing national tournaments across the country, meeting people from all over the world, including Japan, Korea have come to these national events as well. I recently was signed to a kind of a league that's forming in Arizona. It's a tournament circuit league that is, this wiffle ball grassroots effort is turning into a professional style of events. There's a social media entrepreneur named Gary V. Dude Perfect is another thing that many people may have heard of. Kevin Costner, I know everybody knows who he is, and many more are starting to own professional wiffle ball teams across the country, and the first tournament is this weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona. I am a member of the New York Green Apples in their first franchise, headed to Scottsdale for the first phase of this big league wiffle ball adventure. Before all of this, the National Wiffle League Association is like an umbrella organization for hundreds of tournaments and leagues across the country. Provides an avenue for any age person to go on our website and kind of pinpoint in their area. We're separated by East Coast, Central, and West Coast, and you can kind of click on that map and see all the local events that might be in their area. Here in not only O'Fallon, but in the greater St. Louis area, there are many leagues from around here. Some of you may have been to the bar that's very close by that has the Yellow Bats Stadium. Yellow Bats right next to the restaurant there, and it's a beautiful field, the replica of the old Cardinal Stadium. And so they not only have a league that they have almost every night, there's a league in Chesterfield called MOWIF that's close by, a league in Baldwin, the SWBL. There's a league in Arnold, Lower Arnold, and then there's an NWA league right here in O'Fallon. So many leagues and outreach across not only the O'Fallon area, but outside in the greater St. Louis area. I come to you today to show that the interest is growing, and for the first time, with me and my committee's help, we brought the national tournament to O'Fallon coming up in August. It has been in places Pittsburgh, it's been in Minneapolis, it's been in Indianapolis, been in Columbus, Ohio, many different places around the country, and finally, for the 15th anniversary of this tournament, it is being brought to O'Fallon, Missouri. It'll be played at Carshield Field right here in O'Fallon. Obviously, it comes with a lot of grassroots efforts from a lot of the leagues partnering together to put this event on. But for some additional help. We are kind of seeking those extra partnerships that we can use and leverage as well. I don't know if you all have in front of you the perfect, yep, print it off. You have the proposal for us here. We're sending, your proposal looks different than many of the other sponsor proposals because yours, we wanted to make sure that it was conducive to what your thoughts were. There's a lot of information on there. The NWLA tournament has been on ESPN 2 different times. I myself have been on ESPN twice in 2023, so my team made it to the finals in 2023. And my team has been to the most finals in NWLA tournament history. So in most national tournament history, we've been to the most finals. And yes, we have lost every single time. We are 0-4, but we're the only ones that have been there 4 times. This, in 2023, it was the first time.
You're the Buffalo Bills of
I know.
Wiffle Ball.
No, yeah. So in 2023, we made it to the finals. It was the first time it was announced to be on ESPN. So sure enough, we're telling everybody, get on ESPN right now. We are about to play the championship game. We made it here, and we went up to a 4-1 lead heading into the last inning. We were 3 outs away, and our pitcher lost it and walked in 4 runs to lose a heartbreaking fashion. Could have brought the national championship to St. Louis for the first time, but we came up short. But without, we can always get stronger every year after that. We're hoping that we can win it in our hometown. So being at the Hoot Stadium, the O'Fallon Hoot Stadium, I know works somewhat in partnership with O'Fallon, the city of O'Fallon as well. I know it's a separate entity. They have contracts with different people that they have many events that are hosted there. We have put down the down payment for that, but we are also possibly seeking a presenting sponsorship from the city of O'Fallon to see if they want to have all of very similar things to what all the sponsorship things you listed here, having this presenting sponsor limited on the logo, the logo on our current logo that you can see on there, that St. Louis logo that was made, adding in all the St. Louis style, but then underneath it saying presented by the city of O'Fallon and more. Obviously, this is bringing in the past, this tournament has brought in anywhere from 12 teams to 20 teams. And that is the cap. The reason that random people can't join this tournament on a whim, so the 5 of you could not start a wiffle ball team right now and join this tournament, reason being that this is the National League Wiffle Association. So leagues from around the country have to be recognized by the NWLA, and once they're a part of that umbrella organization, they can send an all-star team from their league to represent them in this tournament. Makes it a really cool camaraderie experience. Our league, the SWBL in Baldwin, has been one of 2 leagues that has been a part of this tournament since its inception in 2012. I am one of 2 players in the entire country that has played in every single tournament. Me and somebody else from Kalamazoo, Michigan, randomly. So we are excited that it can be brought to hometown, and I think they kind of trusted that our team has been a part of this for so long that we can make this come to fruition and not just have a great tournament, but put on the best tournament that it's seen in 15 years. But we're hoping we can do that with your help. This will bring we've already been starting to plan this, and from the beginning when it was in Pittsburgh, I even had a team registration fee dollars off, and all of a sudden we started having more and more registrations. We already have 16 teams registered for this tournament. So that is 16 teams from across the country, when normally they only have 12 to 20. We are fully expecting that this will be the largest wiffle ball tournament that this national tournament has seen, hopefully gaining 20 plus, looking at 24 leagues from around the country. We have leagues already registered from Philadelphia. We have Indianapolis. We have New York coming in. We have Minnesota has 2 teams coming down, plus many local leagues. All the local leagues here in the Missouri area will be here, and plenty from Illinois as well. There are, in the middle of that sponsorship presentation, you see the investment budget breakdown. Our field rental is a total of $3,300. We have put down $900 of that, so $2,400 remains on that contract. There's a field striping fee that the Hoots are going to be giving us a bid for, that we're hoping we can kind of cut down some of that cost. And then we're hoping we can work with the city of O'Fallon to come up with team welcome bags. We want all of our patrons, all of our players from across the country to utilize restaurants and local areas that they can go to in the city of O'Fallon, obviously the hotels, everything that they can use at their disposal while they're here during this great weekend in August. We want to have team welcome bags that have partnerships with local restaurants and with, the hotels, giving them, maybe, hey, come to this restaurant, you'll have a coupon for this, so forth. So working with the City of O'Fallon to create these team welcome bags for each player, maybe even branded with, the City of O'Fallon on their drawstring bag or something like that. And then any event equipment rentals that we might need, we might leverage the City of O'Fallon's partnerships to say, hey, what is a partnership you might use for this fencing or something like that too. So that's kind of what we're asking for it. At the top, we're kind of asking for a full $4,000 for that presenting sponsorship and all the things that will be listed below. Our additional funding resources are going to come from obviously different sponsorships from around the local area, and the regional and national. We already have partnerships secured with Buffalo Wild Wings, Scott's Lawn Care, and Sheetz. It is not a gas station here in St. Louis, but it is, if you've heard of Sheetz, it's on the East Coast more. And they're actually the road trip sponsor of the national. So all of the teams that will be driving in, they hope to hit some Sheetz and, give them some shout outs on social media, things like that. So we have some national branding coming up on a timeline for you, just so you can look in that top right-hand corner of your presentation. Obviously, the meeting today in October. In November, we have a meeting lined up with ESPN, hoping to bring that back for ESPN to house the championship game on the Field 1 that we will have in the O'Fallon Car Shield Stadium. MLW is Major League Wiffle. They have a following of over 1 million subscribers across all of their networks. If you pretty much go to any middle school or elementary school here in the area, they will probably know a couple players like Jimmy Norp or Kyle Schultz, or those names will be household names in their houses. Maybe not to you, but some of them might be pretty popular. I was literally dropping my oldest son off the other day and saw a Jimmy Norp Diamondbacks jersey, and I almost rolled down my window and said, go Backs, or something. But it was just crazy to see just a random person walking by having a famous wiffle ball player on the back wearing it as they were scootering along. And then you'll see we're also hoping to host a community tournament on the side of this. So it's not just the national teams coming in. When I say a national tournament, this is a fast pitch tournament. This is base running. This is players that, yes, are throwing 95 to 103 miles an hour against players that are hitting with a yellow skinny bat still. May not seem possible, but it is. And it's fun to watch that, but for somebody local, it's like, I can't relate to that. But they might be cool to watch. So we're hoping to host a community event where anybody in the community will have a kids division and an adult division. We'll have fields that will be on the field at Car Shield Field that will be dedicated to a slow pitch tournament where it's going to be a monitored speed limit. A little more fun, recreational for anybody in the area that would like to join. Not only will this bring maybe local people from the area to play on the tournament with the big boys, the professionals as well, but also gives an opportunity for those leagues to maybe bring another team that might want to come, which will only help hotel sales and all those things to help the area too. I know I've been speaking a lot. I appreciate your taking your time. If there are any questions I can answer, I know there's a lot more information on that sheet as well, but would love to hear your thoughts.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
As far as this presenting sponsors, or a deadline for when you are needing to have that confirmation?
There is not. You all are our first ask for the presenting sponsorship. We have 2 available for presenting sponsorships that will be included onto our logo and blasted out when we put all of our media outlets out there, put all of our print materials, get all of our sponsor banners, all those things presented. We want to have 2, one at the top, one at the bottom. Presenting sponsor for O'Fallon would be that one at the bottom, so presented by for the tournament. And then we're going to seek out the second one after that. If it is not something the City of O'Fallon would like to partake in, then we would just seek out another presenting sponsorship for it. So we have options, but since we're here in the City of O'Fallon, we wanted to come here first.
Sure. Okay. And then my other question is just, when you do come into town, do you see that the tournaments, they draw families in with children? Is it more of just the players? Do you see all over the place? Does it vary as far as?
It's a great question. It varies across every tournament. There's 2 huge national tournaments, and this one is a base running clean ball, and what I mean by that is the ball has no cuts or scuffs in it. So everybody uses the same ball right out of the box, and it makes it a little more level playing field. This is yellow bat, clean ball, and it is base running, so a little more action oriented. There's another tournament across the country that is no base running, bigger barrel bats, so not the yellow skinny bat, and you can cut the ball, you can scuff it however you want to kind of get a little more movement. The reason I bring that one up is because they do a lot of great things. They have a lot of good partnerships that we are trying to leverage that haven't been leveraged in the past, and I feel like there's a lot more. This past year in Pittsburgh, they partnered with the local Little League that was close by and had the champions from one of their tournaments that they had, their Little League tournaments, come out and be on the field in the championship. They had the Pittsburgh Pirates, they have the pierogies that race around the field at the Pirates games. They had the pierogies come and do a race. They had a t-shirt cannon come with all the people from the Pirates and made it more of like a tailgating event with the food trucks and things like that. So there are ways that we can have this to where it comes out and more people do come out. Another one is that MLW partnership in that meeting that I shared. Over the 1 million subscribers across, they have had 2 different St. Louis events that they have hosted at the Gateway Grizzlies Stadium. Is it still the Gateway Grizzlies Stadium in Sauget, Illinois? So they have had 2 events. I went to the first one, did not get to go to the one this year, where they attracted 550 kids and families at each of those events. May not seem like a lot, but for a game of football, quite a bit. For this tournament, few weeks ago was in York, Pennsylvania. They had what's called a meet and greet for those MLW, and they had over 600 kids show up just to meet these MLW players that they've seen play on YouTube and across their social media platforms. So leveraging that partnership with them, and we actually might take it a step further, and there's a Friday night social event, and we are hoping we can partner with MLW because we have the stadium for that Friday also. Give them the stadium at no cost since we already have it booked. Let them use the stadium and use CarShield Field as their next stop in their stadium tour. That's the conversation we're having with them in December, which would draw not only those fans that day, but then throughout Saturday and Sunday, adding family, friends, and local community, and that slow pitch, medium pitch community tournament, we think will draw a lot of attention as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Patrick?
Sam, I'm just interested. Do you have multiple games going? CarShield's a big field.
Yep.
Do you have multiple games going on at once? Is that correct?
So our plan right now, have an overlay of CarShield Field. We have 6 fields for the tournament. Wow. We're going to do 6 fields on there. We have actually, this is not the first time we've hosted at CarShield. We have hosted an event called the MoWiff Classic for the past 2 years at CarShield. So we know the lay of the land. We've set up fields before there. We know the setup. We know the place very well. So we've put on events. Those events had 4 fields on it. This one, we're going to have 9 total. So 6 for the tournament because we want to make sure it's moving along and everybody has different eyes on different fields. And then we'll have 3 for that slow pitch local community event with the huge right field monster wall that they will hit into. Yeah.
What was the general attendance for this? You said the most recent tournament here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so during the tournament, you're seeing anywhere, not only just players and families and friends, you're seeing anywhere from probably 400 to 600 during the tournament on itself. But that last day, when they had that community event, which is huge, it's a huge draw, when they had the Pirates come, they had the mascot, they had the pierogies, they had the local Little League that they partnered with, there was well over 1,000, 2,000 people that were there. I can get you the exact number of what it might be from the guy who was the tournament director in Pittsburgh, but it was the largest event that we've seen, and we're hoping we can continue that momentum as we go.
Great, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
On here, you said you have up to 20 teams, 12 to 20 teams. You got 16 signed up, and there's about 5 teams that are already in the St. Louis area. Is that correct, or is that part of, which league is that?
So we have about 7, I believe, that are local right now out of the 16. So 7 local teams from O'Fallon. You have the NWA, you have the SWBL. There's another SWBL, but just a different name for the acronym. You can run out of acronyms after a while, I guess. And then you have the MOWIF team that's close by, and LAWA, which is the Lower Arnold Wiffle Ball League that they have. Yellow Bats is going to be bringing a team from O'Fallon too. So we do have the local presence already taken care of. We know they're going to be here. There's one on the other side of the river in Illinois, Excel Wiffle Ball, that's going to be there, and then another Illinois-based one, the Central Illinois Prospects League. They have another one too, plus Indianapolis, Minnesota, New York, Philadelphia, and all them too. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else went. I went and looked at your website at last year's, and you have areas that you can click to see the charts. And one of the things I noticed is hotel accommodations. So that's something that you would put on, and that's through your website.
Honestly, that's last year's, and that was a partnership that they created with the Washington County, was who was their presenting sponsor. So at the bottom of their one that was presented by Washington County, they worked with Washington County and their hotels to say, hey, can you give us a list of the hotels, maybe a group rate for all these hotels that our guys can go on with the code NWLA, and it gave them 5% off whatever it was for those different ones. So that'd be something that for this one as well, put on our website, put out on all of our documentation that we send all of our teams, our program, that, hey, here are the hotels that the city of O'Fallon would like us free to use or close by, that kind of thing. Yep.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess my question is that we need more information as far as a lot of this comes off as something too, especially with the welcome bags and things like that, that may have a little bit more decision-making
Yes.
before we approve. So I'm assuming that we would move this for more discussion?
I think we probably all need to go back to our respective areas and ask, like, financially, legally, the different aspects that we can all reach out to, and then come back and discuss it again, maybe in, I guess, January is our next meeting.
That's why I asked if
Yeah.
the timing of that. That's the only reason I asked you that. Our next meeting is in January, and for us to have more discussion on what Kelly just said as far as compliance.
Totally
Things
fine.
like that.
I can be available for any questions throughout there via email or anything like that coming up between now and January for the event. Or if you need me to come back in January, let me know. I can be back here again to answer any questions you may have. But yeah, just appreciate your time to kind of
Yeah,
let
I
me get
think
it
it's
out
great.
there, and then you all
Yeah.
can take it back with you and discuss.
I think I speak for all of us in that it's a great idea, and, I don't see any issues with it, but yeah, having more discussion would be great.
Awesome.
I would like to recommend that we maybe, I was going to suggest potentially provide tentative approval of this based upon gathering more details and negotiating maybe an agreement between the OCBB and your organization towards, addressing some of these hotel sponsorship, welcome packet issues and all that.
So motion basically for approval contingent on more details.
Yes, I don't know whether you can do a
Motion.
tentative approval. I
don't either.
Yeah,
Tentative approval with negotiation mindset.
yeah.
like wording.
Contingent
know.
upon some conversation. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Ultimately, I will say, if I may, ultimately, any partnership's going to be great, right, with the city of O'Fallon. Obviously, we want to offer the presenting sponsorship to you all first because it's here in O'Fallon.
Yeah.
We still would, if something didn't, happen or it was decided upon, monetarily it might not be there, we're still going to leverage some of the partnership to say, hey, like we need help with the hotels. Like we want to make sure we're still doing that because we want the people to stay here in the city of O'Fallon. So we can still have those types of partnership conversations, but obviously we want O'Fallon to be a big part of this, bringing the national tournament to O'Fallon in the St. Louis area for the first time.
Sure.
I would like a placeholder on that sponsorship.
Okay.
Give us 75 days to negotiate a deal, and with the intent that if we are able to work all those details out, we'll come back in January for approval.
Okay. So I need a motion to do that.
Motion of what he just said.
Yeah, motion for what Patrick just said.
Does that work for you, Kelly?
It would have to be a mid-year budget amendment.
Right, because we didn't program this into our 26 budget, which is already in process. So we would be looking at an adjustment in.
Would you consider in-kind stuff?
Yes and no, to an extent. And that'd be part of the conversations we could have negotiation-wise. That would be the conversation. I feel like we would say, like, what does that look like from a tournament perspective? Does it help us cut a cost somewhere else, kind of thing? So that would be something that we could talk about to see what works out with our budget.
We could always give them rail district money. I mean, that's. I think we will have monies in our budget to support this, but I agree that in terms of the process, it is going to require an adjustment to our 26 budget. So I would like to make a motion for further negotiations with the intent of securing a presenting sponsorship for this event in O'Fallon in August.
August 14th.
August. And successful negotiations in terms of that agreement would then allow us to make a formal recommendation for funding in our January meeting.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second, Dietrich.
Thanks, Don.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All, the motion stands. Thank you so
all.
much,
Thank
Sam.
you all
It was
so
a
much for your
pleasure
time
meeting
today.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next up is the Rail District Festival update. Hopefully they don't take your money.
Sorry, Rachel, just gave your money away.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I do have awesome, they're getting it up right now. Okay, I wanted to come and say thank you to you all for supporting the Rail District Festival that we had on September 6th in the Rail District right here in Civic Park, right here in the Rail District. We partnered with the City of O'Fallon and the O'Fallon Community Foundation on this project, and we're able to raise money to send officers from the City of O'Fallon to Police Week in Washington, D.C., and then we also were able to donate to the Renaud Center to create scholarships for adults and children to participate in their programming that they might not be able to afford. A great thing about this event is local community members were able to learn about the local businesses that we have. So you can see kids that are talking to a local business. We had
Cute girl in that photo, too.
What?
Cute girl in that.
I know. We had the library there as one of our businesses, and they were getting patrons library cards. I'm pretty sure this group right here were newer folks that have just moved to the City of O'Fallon, and they had learned about the festival online, and they came by and were able to get a lot of different things done in the city that they were excited about. We had different vendors like seen here, permanent jewelry. So she was telling people about her permanent jewelry and helping people get some. We have another Patterson pictured here giving temporary tattoos. So telling people about the O'Fallon Inc., the local tattoo studio. And you can also see this patron has a free Dutch Bros coffee. So Dutch Bros, a new local business in O'Fallon, was giving out free coffee and different energy drinks to patrons that came. We had a lot of kids activities at this event. So you can see the kiddos that are jumping in the fun inflatables we had. There was a balloon artist where anyone that went up to her could get free balloons done. So I think she had a list of like 10 different things she could create for the kiddos, and they had a lot of fun. She always had a line, and she was always being followed. So no matter where she moved, everyone was trying to get in line. We had these sisters, Bluey and Bingo, that came, and they took pictures with the kiddos, so there was a line for that. But then they also did a dance party. So they were constantly getting hugged and thanked from the kids for being there. And they seemed to have a lot of fun, and I think that's something we'll continue to do in the future, is having those characters out at the Rail District Festival. That was completely free for the kids as well. Families could bring their kiddos to come meet Bluey and Bingo. Bluebell was there. They were giving out free ice cream the entire day. So that's another local St. Charles County business that we have. They were up by the Krekel train giving everybody free ice cream. The My King Studio of Dance was there. They did a presentation from their Kingdom dancers. So they had about a 30-minute presentation to anyone that was there. It was really cool to see. I got to actually witness them doing their dance, and they had quite the crowd up on the hill watching them dance and perform. So it was really cool to see the families and friends that came and supported them. We had the baby crawl race, so that was a huge hit. We had 15 babies? Yeah, I believe it was 15 or 16 babies that participated in the baby crawl race. That is my daughter right there. She chose to cheer everyone else on for the baby crawl race, but she had fun doing it. And then, as you can see, we had Mayor Bill Hennessy give the winning trophy to the winner of the baby crawl race. So he was pretty proud, as you can see. He's holding on to it. We also had the Krekel train there. So that was a huge hit, as always. I know last year when we first did this event, we thought that the Krekel train would go once every couple hours or something like that. We thought maybe about 4 rides for the day. We could not be more wrong on that. That went continuously, and it did this year as well. So tickets were a huge hit, and we kept them very affordable for families to be able to go. And some families went multiple times because their kids were very excited. And then we also had local food trucks there as well. Kona Ice was a big hit for the day. So I just wanted to show you guys some pictures from the event. It was very well attended. We had probably about over 1,800 people that came through the park for one reason or another, stayed and enjoyed the local festivities. This event continues to bring attention to the rail district. So we're going into our 3rd year for 2026, and people are starting to understand what the rail district is when we call it that. They're starting to attribute the Rail District Festival to this area. So that's super exciting. And then it's also helping brand the businesses in this area and help encouraging investments in tourism for the city of O'Fallon. We utilized the funds that you guys gave us for 2025 towards marketing. So that was encouraging the local residents and residents from the region to come to the city of O'Fallon to celebrate the rail district. And then we also used it for signage marketing as well. So we had signs that were out on Main Street. We put a sign in front of the park as well this year. We also had signage at Goodwood that we put up on the fence as well, and then signage throughout the park on the day of the event as well. So we're super excited about what this event has become, and we know that it's just going to keep growing each year, and we're really excited about that. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I thought it was great.
Thank you.
And the weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a big bonus, but yeah, it turned out great. Thank you, though. Does anybody have any questions for Rachel? Okay.
What's the day of the event for next year?
So it's always going to be the first Saturday after Labor Day, so that way we can continue to build that tradition. And so next year it's September 12th, 2026. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much.
Thanks for the update. Okay, now I'm going to back on track on the agenda, and we are up for the O'Fallon Theater Works renovations update.
Me again. So we are moving right along with that. Actually, on Friday of last week, myself, Craig Felt, and Chris Clerks all met and reviewed plans. The second set of plans that were reviewed between ourselves and the O'Fallon Theater Works directors, we did feel it was important to ask them what their opinion was on the flow of the space. Ultimately, they would be one of the main groups who will be utilizing that space. But it's also important to remember that we do have opportunities to maybe have a speaker series there, or even a simple concert of some sort as well. So we need to make sure that this is still functioning for other uses. So therefore, things like the seating will not be attached to the floor itself, for example. So those are things that we all need to take into consideration when we're reviewing these plans, but it's also important to know how that space is used through the actual theater, the directors, and then the cast as well, and the flow of how they use that space, because it needs to make sense for that. So I believe you have a printed copy of that latest version that was a result of the meeting that I had with the O'Fallon Theater Works directors. Took back their feedback to read vouchers, and he's the architect who then redesigned things. From there, met with Chris and Craig on Friday to have some further discussions about this. There is a proposal to make some adjustments there and maybe trying to create more open space versus solid walls for the actual dressing rooms, making it more so of a curtain system, like a grid, where we could move the size of each of those rooms as maybe the size of the casts change, and installing more of a dressing room style, like if you went into a major department store, how you would go in behind closed doors to be able to change and such there. That is going back and forth a little bit, but we do have a meeting set up with the architect next week. So we will be discussing that, myself, Craig, Chris, and then Reed, the designer. We'll all be sitting down to discuss this and what those next steps are for moving forward. So the goal is to get that approved this year as to what that design is going to be, and then going out for bid on the construction piece of it. And from there, looking to encumber the funding from there. So I will be honest, this is a new process for me, so I'm learning a little bit along the way, but I do love the creativity side of it, and I enjoy trying to figure out flow in small spaces with flexibility at the same time, so that gives an opportunity of creativity. So that is where we are right now. And from there, I will try to answer whatever questions I can for you. So I feel like you're going to ask me a question, so I'm going to look. No, okay.
No, as always, you've done a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody have any questions, Patrick?
Jennifer, you've given us concept plans 6A, 6B, and 7A.
Correct.
Is that the progression of plans, or is that three options that you're considering?
It is, so 6A and 6B, and this is going off of memory, is the same plan. But if you look on the far side where it says the sound booth, that sound booth is actually elevated. And so underneath the elevation is going to be a small hallway of sorts, and you will see stairs coming down if you're facing the stage on the left-hand side. So that was one of the feedback that we got from the directors, is that it's very important for them to be able to get out of the sound booth very quickly, because they do need to go backstage from time to time, especially during Tech Week. So that is something that was unanimous across the board. And I myself, that's not my first gift for that. So it was good to understand that, to make sure that we have those accommodations, but it still allows space underneath for people to access that extra storage as well, which is basically what's going to be utilized when all of the scenes and such are being created, and being able to lock up those tools in more expensive pieces as well. So 6A shows the main floor of it, and then 6B, I believe, is reflective of what the upper piece of the sound would be. And then when you get into 7A, That gives a second option of the sound area, and that sound area is showing that it's on the ground. And then there's the space behind it. In my opinion, that's wasted space because we lose seats. So we do feel, for multiple reasons, that it is better to have it elevated. So we're leaning more towards the 6A portion versus the 7A.
Makes sense.
Yes. So there's a little bit of flexibility with the 7A, depending on how you want to use that dressing space. It offers a little bit more square footage, but in the long run, it sounds as though maybe sacrificing a little bit of square footage for flow is worth it.
I don't count good. How many seats are there in this space?
294? 290.
That's why she's in finance.
This is why she does numbers.
Nobody
This
counts
is why
them.
I use Excel, because I
I did add up that there's, 10 seats that would go away, the sound booth. Is it 10?
It's only going to cost you 10 seats to do 7A.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it still makes sense to have it elevated, even for a perspective piece as well. And if it was on the ground, you would be actually going through the audience a little bit, and we don't want to do that. It takes away from the experience of the guests.
I would also, when I'm looking at this plan, it looks like there's a lobby expansion.
No, there is not. That's a hope, wish, and a dream. So that is not going to happen. And also, I'm glad you brought that up, because there is a storage area that's out in like the lobby of the second floor where the current like bookshelf is. On the opposite side of where you see the bathrooms located, that is a solid wall right now with like an enclosed bookshelf. That storage area will not be there. So it was our understanding to make sure that that area stays open. So a current recommendation is, so we also need to find a home for concessions. So, once again, limited space, and a lot of different things need to take place in there. So the current recommendation is, if anybody's been to an airport recently, as you are going through there, a lot of your snacks and, refrigerated beverages are on shelves or hooks, and it's all up against the wall. Think of it being on caster wheels, and it's shelving or hooks or baskets or whatever in the refrigeration. Everything's going to roll into an area that night, plug in the refrigeration, everything's ready to go. We have a kiosk. We will have somebody working an actual point of sale system, but that's more of the concept. That's the visual that I'm trying to explain to people, just because trying to have a concession in enclosed walls, or even in, there's a small janitorial closet up next to the elevators. Yes, there's space in there, but if you work concessions, that starts closing in on you really quick, but it's great for storage of these types of things, and it is lockable. So to be able to roll something out, put it in place, maybe it is in front of those current cabinets, because it's only temporary for that evening. At the end of the night, you roll it back, plug it back in. Because right now, to give you an example of what we're having to do with concessions, is we are putting drinks in several large coolers that, for us, it takes two of us to pick it up and move it to where it needs to be. We have to drive to Krekel Civic Center, go there to fill up the coolers of ice, put them back in the car, drive them back here, offload them, put them on a dolly, or if they have wheels, then we pull them, get them on the elevator, go up to the second floor, and then start serving. So it's not an easy task for us to do that, or we'll have to go to Westoff Shed. They have an ice machine over there for the Parks Department, and we'll go there. So depending, which direction we turn out of the parking lot. But that is the process that we have to do right now. So the fact of actually having some refrigeration and all we have to do is plug something in would be amazing. So, so with that, I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
I have a question. How many additional seats does this have versus what we currently have?
So comfortably right now, I would say we're somewhere around 200 to 250. But with us being able to push things back, and I'd also like to make note that the riser system that is in there right now is still missing a whole nother section. It still goes out wider, but we can't build that in there because we don't have the space to do it because of the pipe and drape that goes around right now.
We realigned our budget here earlier this year based upon your request to allow for some expenditures this calendar year and chairs and curtains and concession card. Have all those things been purchased so far?
They have not been purchased. I have done quite a bit of research on a variety of those pieces. And I'm going to be honest, the more I start researching these as far as what that is going to look like, I feel like a little bit of that is the horse being, or the cart being put before the horse, because I feel like the construction needs to happen now as we're going through this process. We need to see what that layout is going to be. Are we doing carpet in there? Is the budget not going to allow us to do carpet? If we put in hardwood floor, how is that going to affect the sound? Depending on what color you choose for the carpet, what color chairs do you get? I don't want to pick a chair if I'm going to have a different carpet. So it's a trickle-down effect, and that is definitely what I'm seeing right now, and that's something that I would like to discuss with the designer or the architect to see, and that's why we need to get an idea of where we are coming in on the bids for the construction part to happen. Yes, I can buy chairs. I have a variety of chairs that I feel will definitely work, but what color do I get? It's a big investment. Gray's boring. Gray's boring. So, because the chair needs to work with the carpet. If we're not getting carpet, then it doesn't matter. But then what color are the walls going to go? I've proposed all sorts of colors, but
I like your color choices.
I do too. Thank you.
So, in regards to us and the OCVB, there is a significant amount of those dollars that we set aside in the 25 budget that will be rolling over into the 26 budget, correct?
Correct.
And you're staying in contact with Kelly in terms of what that might be and what that amounts might be?
Correct.
Are you anticipating an additional ask in 26 for other? I know it's a loaded question. That's all I ask.
So I'll have Kelly respond to that.
We're hoping, I mean, you've got the design that's under contract. Do you know if you're going to have a bid and that construction company or whatever chosen and under purchase order by the end of the year?
Yes, that is what we're going for. That is what we're going for. So those are our next steps. So we're about this close to saying, yes, move forward with construction so we can then go out and get those bids going for a construction company. So that way we know what that dollar amount is going to look like. And like I said, I'm being 100% transparent here. This is the first time I've done a project such as this. So I'm learning a little bit as I go, but that's why we have Chris Clerks.
So the money that you have under purchase order, once that's agreed upon, that will come out of the 2025 budget.
Correct.
Some of the items that could be in that contract might also be the equipment or the curtains or something like that. We don't know what that looks like yet. So what's not in the contract will eventually come back to us to reapprove
Right.
for the 2026
Right.
budget. It'll roll back into the fund balance, and then we will reapprove it based on it carrying over, but we still need to do a mid-year budget amendment for the difference and however she wants to lay out what's left to complete the project.
The construction contract will be coming out of a different fund.
No. It's a different line item because it's considered improvement and one's considered equipment. Is that what it was?
Yeah, we did a construction with the improvement to the area, and then we tried to itemize a bunch of equipment items. So basically, they all added up to around $260,000 was our estimate.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the $165,000 we allocated within this budget year for theater improvements is the construction portion of this, correct?
Part of it.
Well, it's for the construction part, but that was only because the whole presentation was for $260,000. And when I was told to put it in the budget, we tried to pull every piece of equipment out.
Right.
So we would list that.
Yeah.
Some of this equipment, some of these items could be part of the construction contract.
Correct.
Where if they put a curtain system up, we no longer need the curtains. If they're going to include a lighting
Grid system.
grids, it could be part
That's
of the
part of the
construction
contract of
price,
construction.
not an individual item. So
Thank you, Kelly.
I am concerned that given the scope of this project, that it might ultimately exceed the amounts that we've allocated for Theater Works. And I wonder, or put the thought in your mind, that what other sources we might be able to have to help support any cost overruns, given our limited resources we have available for this project. And the fact that we've already dedicated $250,000, $260,000 to this project. So I know you're on top of that and all that, but please keep us informed of what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Am I up here for
Next is
anything
the
else?
Heritage and Freedom Fest Summer.
Okay, hi.
Stay there.
I'm like, I have a feeling I shouldn't leave.
You need a seat. You need like a stool. We need to get a stool.
Goodness. Okay. So I am going backwards to July, I believe it was. And when I presented just some summary information and just some recap information with our annual Heritage and Freedom Fest that took place over the 4th of July, and I had presented how our revenues broke down as far as, you know, ticket sales, our sponsorships, merchandise, things of that nature, ICE, parade entries, and vendor application fees, and what we collect from our vendors to be able to participate at that particular event. So as I recall correctly, it was, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because it was several months ago, that it was asked to give more of an itemized idea of what our expenses are and how that funding is spent. So I did go ahead and put that together. You all should have a copy of that, I believe. And I want to first say I realized I had a typo in an outstanding dollar amount. It should be $10,776, not $110,776. So that changes things significantly by $100,000. So look what I saved. You're welcome.
I think we got the corrected version. It says 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the very first, yeah. So I've had mine printed out for quite a while now, and it's been sitting on my table for 2 months, so I would remember to bring it here today. So just wanted to point that out just in case. So we do work from 2 different accounts. We also work from the 110, and then, of course, with you all in the 260. So what the difference is the 260 is what helps maintain our production and our entertainment levels. So the biggest piece of that is going towards our main stage entertainment, and then also assists with things of like lights and sound or the stage. It's really kind of how it divides out from one year to the next, depending on, the dollar amount. But in short, it needs to make sure that it supports the stage. So that is all related to the entertainment. So you will see, the biggest piece of the pie there is going to be the production when it comes to contracting the artists, any support artists as well. Then we get into pieces such as, like I said, sound and light. Some of that will come out of there as well. A lot of times I have to roll over the labor to the 110 because labor comes in easily $30,000, $40,000 for people to get the stage, the sound, and the light set up on things. But the other piece of this is we did, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point, we ended up putting a deposit available to be able to make an ask for the following year's artists, which has proven to be successful because we are more likely to get the artists that we're going for. So it was like a double up at one point, but now 50,000 of it is going towards the final payment of our 2025 artists, but I still have another 50,000 in there to be able to utilize that as a deposit for my 2026 artists in 2025 if necessary. So that's where you'll see a little bit of the funding moving around. If it looks like one artist is getting $150,000, no, that's not how it's working. So 50,000 of it was a 2024 deposit for a 25, and then the final payment for the 2025. So I hope that makes sense. We also utilize our sign language, the interpreters who are up at the stage. We utilize the funding for them. Hotel expenses, so not only the artists, but we have our sideshow, entertainment, even sometimes our artistic pieces that are doing those demonstrations, that group will end up staying, and then our production staff will end up staying here in O'Fallon as well. And this year we were very, very fortunate to get together with Apache Village, which they're almost done over there, it looks like. And so they've partnered with us. We showed them around, gave them what their opportunities may be, and they were super excited. And they're like, we just want to keep coming back. And we said, great. So that saved us an easy $6,000 this year. So that was not spent in this year's budget because of that. So we are able to do an in-kind as a result. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what the 260 does. And then as far as the 110, that's where our fireworks comes out of, but it also is the other part of production costs. And what I mean by that is there's commissions. Everything that the production ends up booking for us, they get a commission on that. So it goes for the catering. It would go for if they need CO2 to make that, smoke happen on the stage. It would be something like that. If whatever equipment that they may need to build the stage would come out of this. So transportation costs, because they do have to run shuttles back and forth for the artists to get them to and from the hotel to backstage. So there's also other staff that we would be paying for as well. This also includes all of our suppliers that we have gone out to bid for. So we're talking about our generators, our light towers, our porta-johns, our fencing, the golf carts that we use. It just keeps going on and on. So that is part of the expenses that come out of there as well. And then the entertainment alley is on T.R. Hughes Boulevard. That is everything from our artists that is doing a demonstration. It's our sideshow entertainment. It allows for those inflatables because we do like to be able to offer something to the public that does not cost them anything if they are unable to partake into the carnival itself. So that's kind of and the parade, of course. We need to get the parade in there. So in a nutshell,
Out of curiosity,
that's where everything goes.
out of curiosity, what is wing with 2 G's under the hotel?
I'm sorry.
Wing with 2 G's under hotel. There's Comfort Inn and Suites, and then wing 5,577. I'm just curious.
Oh, repeat that one more time.
Right under the hotel, it's like Comfort Inn and Suites for 2,000, and then wing, but it's with 2 G's, LLC. I'm sure it's just doing business as something else. I'm wondering.
It might have been the,
Another
so we worked with Comfort Inn and Suites and Hilton Garden Inn.
Okay, that's probably what. Hilton
Yes,
Garden
sorry, it probably got
doing
split
business
off in
as.
there.
Yep,
Yes.
Yep, that makes sense. I was just curious.
Yes, so those are the 2 hotels that we partnered with. They're so I do go out for bid every year on this, and they fill out a list. They answer and put in all the rates for the different types of criteria in which I'm looking for and the quantities in which I'm looking for. So they take those entire hotel room nights, and then they go ahead and they fill this out. I do it in forms with Outlook forms or Office 365. Send that out. They have a deadline in which they need to return that to, so they go ahead and get those submitted back. It's in a beautiful spreadsheet that I love, and then from there, I go through and see how I can, kind of share the love between things. Sometimes it's a logistics, and go from there. And those were the 2 hotels that submitted a response this year. Usually I have more hotels getting a response, but this year I had the Hilton Garden Inn and then also the Comfort.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions in regards to this? No? Patrick? No? Okay, no questions. All right, well, thank you, Jennifer.
Do I get to sit down now?
You get to sit down. I think we're on to the bench project presentation.
That's Jenna.
I was going to say, I don't know, so hold on a second.
That's Jenna, like our whole
Noble
department's
Winds
here.
bench project presentation.
We figured we'd let her sit down at least once.
Exactly. Hello. Well,
How are you guys?
good, thanks.
Good. Sorry that, as Jennifer said, our schedules were all kind of all over the place, so that we're just now getting this to you guys. So, some of you may have seen this before, Kelly looking at you, but that's okay. You get to see it again now. So, we just kind of wanted to come and chat with you guys about the art purchasing money that we had in the budget for 2025. As you guys know, $15,000 of that was allocated to the learning curve sculpture that got installed in the roundabout at, I'm going to get this wrong, Crusher, I believe, and that's it. Thank you, Weldon Springs, Patrick. That got installed last week, I believe. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's actually pretty neat. I have not physically been down there, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it. It looks really great. The construction crew team, they got a new name. They did a great job kind of restoring it. And then Bob's landscape team did a lot of great work around there too. It looks awesome from what I've seen in pictures. I'm excited to go down there. Next time I swing through Starbucks, I'll take a peek down there.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that one too. So we just wanted to come touch base with you guys about what our plans were for the rest of that art purchasing money for 2025. And we are planning to work with a company called Noble Winds. They take retired wind turbine blades and create benches out of them. The nice thing about this is not only is it obviously like promoting sustainability. You know, they're reusing all of these things, but they are aluminum frames. The benches are made out of composite lumber. Everything is stainless steel. So it's very, very, very low maintenance. They have, I want to say it's like a 25-year warranty on their product or something like that, which is mind blowing to me. But I love that, knowing that we, you know, basically what's the old commercial, like set it and forget it. Like that's great. So we are hoping to work with them to purchase this particular variety of bench called the Arch. And this will be kind of a triple dip, I guess, if you will. So we are looking to purchase this with the funding from this year's art purchase money. And then this is actually going to become the art piece at HFF next year. So as you guys are probably familiar, we normally work with an artist of some variety to have an on-site art demonstration. We've done a muralist in the past. We've done a giant chalk artist. We've done sand. What we're planning to do is put out a call to artists, which we can then specify kind of what we're looking for in the subject matter to go on this bench. Going back a little bit, I probably should have said this is going to come primed and ready for paint for an artist. So the outer shell of it, not the bench part itself, but it can be painted both outside and inside if we so choose. So we are going to put out a call to the artist, kind of, you know, depicting that we are looking for it to have some sort of tie to whether it's veterans, whether it's, you know, patriotism as a whole, something along those lines, hoping maybe to tie in something to do with O'Fallon as well. And then we will kind of narrow that down and, you know, work with not only you all, but the Veterans Commission, CAC, Council. If there's anything, you know, we're looking for specific, we can kind of put that in the call before it goes out. We will then bring that artist in and they will be painting live at Heritage and Freedom Fest next year on site so that people can not only see this being done, but then hopefully see the completed product on site as well. And then the hopes, wishes, and dreams are that this final installation is actually going to be at the Veterans Walk. So once it's done, you know, and it has, the artwork is completed and everything like that, we will work with the construction crew to get it installed out at the Veterans Walk to where it will be a permanent fixture for not only everyone enjoying the Veterans Walk as well, but hopefully people, you know, will come to see this as well and then also get to experience the Veterans Walk. From my understanding, we would be the first in a wide range of an area to have a project like this. I want to say the closest one is like Chicago or somewhere in Indiana or something like that. Like, I know they have put a lot of these pieces throughout the U.S. There's some that they sent me photos of in like Phoenix. So I think as far as, you know, longevity of paint being outdoors and stuff, you're not going to get a better test than Phoenix. So I think we'll pass on that one. But the company does work directly with, I believe it's Sherwin-Williams, to provide, you know, a specific list of what type of paint would be best suited for this. And, you know, if there's like a sealant or something like that that needs to go on it as well. So that would all be kind of wrapped into it as well. And so the remainder of the art purchasing money would go to the purchase of this structure only. So then the funding for the artist, the materials, et cetera, everything like that would come out of the Heritage and Freedom Fest budget next year. This is kind of a mock-up that the company had put together for us as to, you know, what it could potentially look like, sort of as an inspiration. So as you can see, you can paint both the outer, you know, edge and the inner side of that bench as well. So it can create two different, you know, perspective of various things. And then on the right side there is a mock-up of the, like a plaque that could be kind of put along with the bench too, to sort of, you know, give some more descriptions, things like that. And I think we would be looking to put this also on the AutoCast app that the rest of the Shape of Community sculptures and things like that are on as well, so that people in the area can see this, you know, not just by happenstance, but something on there as well. Okay. That's about all I have. Any questions?
When will you put the call the artist out?
That's actually a really good question. I think we were planning 2026. Yes. January.
Wondering how everybody's going to be able to see some of the suggestions and how it can get through the process. We could probably do that through emails and then come to the meeting prepared to like discuss anything too.
Yeah, likely. So you probably saw when we did the FITA voting, we use a platform called Zap where they submit their artwork through Zap, and then we can actually get people set up as jurors, so you can log in kind of on the back end to either rate, that's I think how we're going to do for Shape of Community as well, where you can rate the submission, or you can kind of say like yes, no, maybe. We can set it up a variety of different ways. So I anticipate that's probably how we'll go about this as well, because we're hopeful that there's going to be a lot of submissions to filter through. So being able to kind of filter through some of those before we're sitting here scrolling through 75, would, yeah, I agree, Heather. It would be ideal. I don't think anyone wants to sit here and scroll through all of that. So hopefully being able to narrow down to the top, 5-ish maybe or something like that, to then get some more specific votes on what it is we're exactly looking for.
I'm excited to see the process.
Me too. I kind of took this one under my wing a little bit. It sort of like it was a weird happenstance thing. And then as my weird brain wheels kind of started going, I was like, whoa, this could be really cool. And then poor Dana, she got hired and we were like, okay. And Jennifer's like, okay, so she can. I was like, no, this one's mine. Like, I'm not giving this one away. So that's okay. She'll be there I can look at things, but I don't really know art. So that's where she comes in. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Feeling. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Anybody?
I'm looking at Patrick. He's always got some.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I think Dana's up next. We have the Cultural Arts Commission update. Good grief. Hello there.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I'm seeing a couple, I think, new faces. So if you didn't see me at the last OCV meeting, I'm Dana Degnan. I'm the new cultural arts specialist. I started back on September 8th. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. OTW's production of Best Christmas Pageant Ever, the musical, is in rehearsals right now. We have sold a total of 63 tickets so far. If you are looking for a recommendation on what date to attend, please go on Saturday, December 13th. That would help me a lot. A selection of cast members will also be performing at tree lighting on November 19th, which I am very much looking forward to. Talking a little bit about Shape of Community, the call for art for Shape of Community 2026, our rotating sculpture series has been requested to be published on Cafe, which is call for entry. It's a place essentially where you can post calls for art and artists can then use that database to find different calls in their area. I spoke with our rep earlier today, excuse me, to get confirmation that the call had been published, and due to the Amazon Web Services outage earlier this week, there was some difficulties with getting that published. And then about 3 minutes before this meeting started, I got confirmation that it is now published. So we have the call for art published. The deadline is January 21st. The CAC will vote in February on our sculptures. I will, of course, also bring their selections forward to you all. And all sculptures will be installed by June 1st, 2026. Moving on to a little bit more about the artwork purchasing that Jenna touched on. I just wanted to touch on Learning Curve. Fred Napoli's Learning Curve was installed on Thursday, October 16th. If you are looking for an approximate address, it is near 4701 State Highway in O'Fallon, Missouri. Moving on, OTW directors meeting. I met with our OTW directors recently just to introduce myself and learn a little bit more about them. We went over a few different items in that meeting, mainly updates about the OTW renovation that Jennifer shared with you guys today. I also talked with them about doing an inventory project in early 2026 while the theater is dark, so we can go through our costumes, our props, and set dressings, as well as our equipment and tools to know exactly what we have in-house, to avoid any extra purchases, and also just whenever we have a new director come in, they know exactly what they're working with. So they have already volunteered to help me with that task. We also discussed some ideas for programming in theater arts while OTW is dark for the first half of 2026. We're looking into utilizing O'Day Park, hosting audition workshops, producing potentially some one-act plays or some 10-minute plays, as well as musical reviews and more. So we're all kind of working together in the brainstorming stage of planning our programming, and I'm hoping that we will have some concrete plans here within the next few weeks on what we'll be doing in 2026, early 2026 rather. Moving on to O'Fallon Art Exhibit. I reported last time we have all of the art hung in each of our different spaces, City Hall, Krekel Civic Center, and Renaud Center. We are still working on picking an artist reception date. We're having some scheduling issues between the 3 artists picking the same date that will work for them. So that is coming soon. Last piece I wanted to touch on was we had a marketing presentation at our last CAC meeting that I thought could be helpful to know about. Our marketing is run by Kristen Funderburk. She is our community engagement manager. She shared that she oversees sponsorships and marketing, as well as her staff who oversee concessions, birthday parties, venues, weddings. Kristen oversees the 6 social media pages that we have between Facebook and Instagram for O'Fallon Parks and Recreation, Renaud Center, and O'Fallon Theater Works. A lot of our events are cross-marketed on the different pages, so sometimes you might see a little post about O'Fallon Theater Works on the Parks and Recreation page or on the Renaud Center page if there is something that connects them there. Kristen also shared some of her social media successes to highlight the engagement boosters and playing into target demographics. She shared some of the other marketing avenues that we have as well, including digital communication, print marketing, paid advertisement, and digital billboards. She also accepted a couple recommendations from our CAC just to boost our marketing efforts, essentially. The presentation, I can share that with you guys, or you can always go back to the CAC recording from October 1st on OFallonTV on demand. Questions, comments, concerns, dance numbers, anything?
I just have one comment. With the bench, with the voting on the bench artwork and all that's going through this group too, will you be using the Zap for the sculptures?
For the sculptures, we're using Cafe because we found with Zap that was really good for 2D art that is hung on a wall, whereas, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Cafe is usually better for larger scale sculptures that we're looking for.
I guess I'm looking at like the voting on it.
Yeah.
Because this group would be included in that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Cafe does have the ability to add everybody as a juror in Cafe, so everyone will be added as a juror to then do the voting from there.
We have, our first meeting is January 28th, so it'll be right after
Perfect.
we close.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I don't think I do. Do you have any questions, Patrick?
Well, this may be a Kelly question. We've got money budgeted in 2026 for Shape of Communities. Is that
Correct. We do. It's in charges for contract services.
Oh, charges for contract services, okay. Oh, okay. Question, well, or comment more than anything. The marketing presentation, I did get a chance to see that actually on the CAC meeting, and I kind of thought, since we actually are the ones that fund marketing, that it probably would be worthwhile to get that presentation to us at some point in the near future. I thought it was very interesting information that she did share, and providing a little more detail in terms of how those monies are spent and what they're used for. So I would definitely like that. As you may know, we are funded in our budget potential for a marketing consultant to work with us in the coming year, and with the idea of helping refine our marketing approach, our dollars spent, and all that. So yeah, I think it would be very worthwhile to have Kristen come and speak about that when you get a chance. So
Sure, I
appreciate
can
that.
speak with
Thank
her
you.
about that.
I have her on January's agenda.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah, already done.
I'm glad I could help you with that.
Exactly. Oh, my. Patrick's throwing
Spilled my
stuff back here
vodka.
now. There we go. My goodness. Thank you so much, Dana.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing is the Hotel Shuttle Partnership Program. Is that you, Mr. McKeon?
It is.
Hi.
And I would like to defer. Given the length of this meeting and all the great information we've shared or received already today, plus I would like to have at least one of our hotel representatives here in that conversation. So if okay with you, Madam Chair, I would like to defer to our January meeting.
I agree. Thank you. All right, we are going to move on to budget. That is you, Kelly.
That is me. There's nothing new on this that wasn't presented at the last budget. At the last meeting we had here, we did a lot of voting. We discussed that earlier with the support for the Rail District, the Historical Preservation Commission, Mid-American Veterans Museum, and the Sports Tourism Partnership Program. Along with the marketing consultant. Those were the things that were added into the budget. We all agreed on and voted on that. So other than that, the only other thing that changed was that originally we didn't have artwork projected to be used in 2025, and now it is. So if you're comparing the numbers, that 25,000 would be the only difference in our ending balance. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but thank you.
Thank you.
You had the opportunity to present our budget to the council. Was that last week, actually? Yeah. Did you get any comment back or any feedback?
No, I have no questions.
That was expected, but I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Well, keep in mind, if you don't mind, the last meeting was the budget meeting, and we weren't supposed to ask questions at that meeting. So you may get some tomorrow night.
Now we know. All right, does anyone have any closing comments for our meeting today?
Madam Chair, I would like to welcome our newest member to the commission. Councilman Keenan has joined us, and we really appreciate his active involvement in the coming year. So thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. All right, well then I will adjourn this meeting.